From The Australian, here's what's on the front. I'm Claire Harvey. It's Thursday, October 24. The Albanese government has poured millions of dollars into housing programs, but the spending is focused on marginal seats and safe Labor electorates. A new analysis by The Australian has shown. The war between two rival Indigenous groups is heating up. It's all about a gold mine in New South Wales, which a group of Wiradjuri elders says would destroy a sacred place. The elders say the local Aboriginal Land Council, also representing Wiradjuri people, has financial links to the mining company. Those exclusives are live right now at theaustralian.com.au. Bruce Lehrmann's had a big win in his defamation battle against Network 10 and Lisa Wilkinson. A judge has ruled he can appeal a federal court finding that he was a rapist on the balance of probabilities, something Lehrmann has always denied. And Lehrmann won't have to cough up a massive legal bill yet. Today, all the latest twists. Just when you think Bruce Lehrmann is running out of options, fortune turns in his favour.
He did bring the proceeding and he has had a hearing. However, it is not quite as simple as that.
That's a voice actor reading the words of Justice Wendy Abraham of the Federal Court. On Wednesday, she handed down a big win for Lehrmann, the man who was always denied raping Brittany Higgins on a sofa in federal parliament in March 2019. Back then, Lehrmann was a brash young Liberal ministerial staffer. He was 23, ambitious and self-assured. Now he's unemployed, living on a job seeker payment worth about $340 a week. He's facing bankruptcy proceedings and another allegation of rape, which is going through the Queensland courts, where Lehrmann will say he's not guilty. Lehrmann has nothing to lose, and he's fighting to get his life back. Justice Abraham's decision gives the go-ahead for Lehrmann to appeal the finding that's put him where he is today. In April, Justice Michael Lee of the Federal Court found he had, on the balance of probabilities, raped another young Liberal staffer, Brittany Higgins, in 2019. Lehrmann has always maintained no sexual contact occurred.
And the first thing that sort of awoke me was I was in a pain. My leg was kind of being crushed. The senior staffer was on top of me. I woke up mid-rape, essentially.
That's the Network 10 interview with Brittany Higgins, which Lehrmann objects to.
He was suing Network 10 and Lisa Wilkinson for defamation, but instead suffered a devastating legal own goal.
Lee ordered Lehrmann to pay $2 million to 10 and Wilkinson to cover their legal bills. He doesn't have the dough. But Lehrmann is putting his faith in the courts again, with an appeal against Lee's finding. 10 and Wilkinson tried to kill off the appeal before it even began, asking Justice Abraham to rule Lehrmann would have to put $180,000 in a trust account to cover their legal fees in case he lost. In her decision on Wednesday, Abraham quoted Justice Michael Lee's original decision on costs. Here's Lee's real voice. In his judgment, he gives 10 and Wilkinson, the respondents, a sideswipe.
There are no real winners in this litigation. The result is best characterised as the respondents overcoming a misconceived claim in relation to a broadcast because they were able to prove at trial the substantial truth of what the contemporaneous material demonstrates that they considered to be the less substantial allegation made in the broadcast.
Lee is saying 10 and Wilkinson failed on one of their defences, showing their journalism was reasonable. But they won in the end because he believed Brittany Higgins was telling the truth about the rape. Here's what Abraham said on Wednesday.
The primary judge made findings against all parties. All parties now claim the primary judgment contains errors.
Network 10 told the court there was no public interest in allowing Lehrmann to appeal. Abraham rejected that.
The appellate process is a fundamental aspect of the administration of justice. The impact on him, if he is denied that right, is self-evident.
The judge noted that both 10 and Wilkinson had conceded there were arguable grounds of appeal. And she said being forced to put hundreds of thousands of dollars up front would kill off Lehrmann's appeal. She also noted Lehrmann would probably be unable to pay costs if he loses.
I'm conscious that Network 10 and Lisa Wilkinson will incur costs should this appeal proceed, which, if any cost orders are made in their favour, will likely be unrecoverable.
She said they'd have to wear that. This is what defamation specialists were expecting, by the way. It would have been a big deal if Justice Abraham had allowed 10 to effectively kill off this appeal because Lehrmann is out of money. So now Lehrmann's appeal gets to be heard by the full bench of the federal court, and although it'll cost 10 and Wilkinson a fortune in legal fees, their only alternative would be to give up and not defend their journalism. That's not an option, so back to court we'll go, at a date yet to be set. Coming up, why Bruce Lehrmann won't be turning to OnlyFans anytime soon. Bruce Lehrmann had another win on Wednesday. Justice Abraham agreed with Lehrmann that he shouldn't have to pay the legal costs of 10 and Wilkinson yet. Here's what his lawyer, Zali Burrows, argued during a hearing of this matter a few weeks ago. We've used a voice actor.
It's a bit rich in asking him to put up $200,000 when they are one of the contributors as to why he is pretty much unemployable. The only shot he's probably ever in making money is by going on OnlyFans or something silly like that.
Zali Burrows suggested 10 was being a bully. Here's what Justice Abraham said.
There is no dispute that Mr. Lehrmann is on Centrelink benefits and is impecunious. Network 10 accepts that Mr. Lehrmann does not have the money to pay the order.
At the last hearing, 10 told the court they'd commenced bankruptcy proceedings against Lehrmann, although his lawyer quibbled with this. 10's lawyer, Matthew Collins KC, said they didn't have high hopes.
I think we are, frankly, all proceeding on the basis that there'll never be any recovery. But that's just an assumption on our part. Only when a trustee in bankruptcy gets in and looks at Mr. Lehrmann's affairs will we have some clarity.
Justice Abraham said to allow the bankruptcy process to proceed now would only mean more people have to pay more legal fees for more proceedings.
Mr. Lehrmann would likely be declared bankrupt, with all that entails. It would likely affect his prosecution of any appeal. That the first respondent asserts Mr. Lehrmann has no ability to obtain money in any event is of no moment. In the circumstances, I'm satisfied that the balance of convenience favours the granting of a stay of the costs order.
In other words, if Lehrmann wins the appeal, the $2 million wouldn't have to be paid anyway. So, in legal terms, Bruce Lehrmann lives to fight another day. All the big court cases are live for our subscribers at The Australian, where a year of the nation's best journalism costs less than a single hour of a top barrister's time. Join us at theaustralian.com.au.